What is going on, everybody? Welcome to the I Tap That Cigar Show, presented by Corona Cigar. And I apologize, I am coming to you at a weird angle tonight. I'm actually coming to you live from my phone. Hopefully, it's charging okay. It is, because my entire system crapped to bed. As always, I am Kevin from Cigar Prop, and I'm coming to you live from the Drew Estate Experience Acid Studios here on the sunny Gulf Coast of Florida. And as always, my faithful companion, co-host, Care Viajante of Stogie Road Cigars.
How you doing, buddy?
Not too bad, not too bad. Just irritated at this. Where am I getting a? Oh, the echoes is coming through the headphones. Let me unplug these. I thought I heard
maybe the echo is coming through the large space you're sitting in.
Yeah, maybe. I was wondering. I kept hearing something, but yeah, it's actually my headphones from that one. Actually, I could have just muted. There we go. So, how you doing tonight?
You're just in a big area. You got some microphone issues, and it's going to echo a little bit till you get up and running. But other than that, I'm doing fine. Did you have a good Thanksgiving, a good holiday weekend?
It was all right. Nothing exciting. It is what it is.
No, yeah, it is. I'm laughing because we did exchange some messages and pictures.
yeah, that we did, Care. So it was a time. How about you? Did you have a big family gathering as usual?
Yeah, we did. It was nice. It was good to hang out with family. Good to hang out and have some cigars. My brother-in-law put the TV outside, so we watched some football. Got a chance to watch a little bit of football. I'm not going to get into the Michigan-Ohio State game.
Because I'd cut you right off.
That would be an ungentlemanly thing to do. I know how to win with a little bit of class. I realize that next year there will be no bet because of the rubbing of the good luck stone.
Yeah, exactly.
I laughed when I pointed out to Jennifer. I'm like, watch Kevin. He's not going to want to bet next year. Hey, Kevin, since we've been betting, Michigan's won every time. Yeah, we're not betting next year, Care. Okay.
Yeah. we still have a way in. We still have a way into the playoffs, the Buckeyes. So I'm not. I have not given up hope. I think we can get there, but it's going to take some finagling.
There's a lot of wins and losses and a lot of chess pieces moving, but weirder things have happened.
Weirder things have happened. So all right, let's get.
I was going to ask you, Kevin, before we get anything kicking off tonight. Brian's here, excited about talking about guns and cigars. I'd like to get into the Cigar Medic humidimeter cut and the light.
All right.
Because remember, with the Cigar Medic's humidimeter, you always know when to hold them and you always know when to smoke them. Kev, what are you smoking and what's the percentage, brother?
I am smoking from our guest tonight because these are available at Corona Cigar, where Jessica happens to work. So she brought me home a couple of the 2A. This is from Guns and Gars. This is the barber pole, and should be reading pretty good since it's been a humidor for a hot minute. I am at 62%.
Very nice. We are doing dueling barber poles because I am smoking the Big Tony this evening. To start off. And I got a gringo. I got a gringo for a backup for the second.
Oh, right on. And
mine is at 64%. Right where I want to be, bro. Right where I want
to be. Get the lighter that got me in trouble on Instagram for using it.
Really?
Yeah, maybe you too. Yeah. So yeah, they took down my photo because of this lighter. Yeah, this lighter was in the background. I wasn't even using the lighter. It was just in the background.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Figured a big cigar needs a big lighter. A 2A cigar deserves a 2A lighter.
And which a good thing. It's in the foreground now. Maybe everything will be fine.
Yeah, maybe. But this is still irritating that it's not connecting to my. Nope, still not. All right.
You're good. Let's get back to the housekeeping news, Kev.
All right, so we've only got 2 more episodes left of the year. and we are done.
I can't believe it's going to be December.
It just seems like we just started this season.
Dude, you know what? It's just been a great season. Second half of the season, great guests. I think we've had probably some of our longest shows that I've been on the second half of the year, and it's flown by.
It has, and I don't know how many. Like I said, we try and keep everything to 2 hours, but man, we've done 3, we've done 2.5. We have done these long shows, and we cut them short. It's not like we run out of things to talk about, but I look at like the replays. 2 hours is about the limit of what most people can sit through. Same as a movie, but yeah, it was. We've had some great guests. This has probably been my favorite season. This last quarter of this year so far, because it was just one after another. We've met some fantastic guests, a lot of boutique cigar companies on this year. So
we've definitely had some Scarface episodes, those long, you need an intermission.
Yeah.
Intermission from the interview.
Yeah, that's it. Well, I think that's all we got. So, before we bring on our before we bring on our guests, we want to take a moment to thank all of our show partners for making this happen each and every week. Sorry about them. Like I said, you can't see. The one time I get Illusione they've got a new graphic for my laptop, and they're not even going to be able to be shown tonight. So hopefully Fred and Dion's not watching. So before we bring on our guests, we want to take a moment to thank all our show partners: JC Newman Cigars, Cigar Medics, Amendola Cigars. We are the muscle. Casa Caraballo Cigars, Illusione Cigars, deep in flavor, deep in your mind. K by Karen Berger Cigars, and of course Drew Estate and Experience Acid. All right, I'm making a note real quick. I was trying to write it down real quick. So, all right. Waiting patiently in the Experience Acid Green Room is Brian Gordon of Guns and Gars and of Tactical Society.
Hey, guys.
My God, you look at that. It was just so smooth. He came in with the smoke billowing, and it's like, God,
Hey, you see how much time that is.
That's it. How you doing tonight?
Good, man. Thank you guys for having me.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Where are you coming from tonight? That place looks familiar.
Hey, I'm where it all started at, man. I'm in Tampa, man.
So that's the old Davidoff of Geneva, but now it's just called Corona Tampa.
Yep.
So,
Diamond Lounge.
Yep. Now are you upstairs in the new lounge?
Oh yeah, man. They did a number with this bad boy. It looks good up here.
Oh, I haven't been up there yet. So we haven't been down to Tampa since they did the renovation upstairs. So
you gotta get over here and see us.
Yeah, I definitely need to get up there. So, I mean, my wife works up the road because we're in Sarasota County, so she manages the Corona Sarasota. So, we definitely get up there. Well, she gets up there every day. That's where she works. But she was that's where I usually go and hang out with her. But one of your guys was in, the other day or something from your company. Said she was talking to him.
Yeah. One of my boys, Alex, man. Yeah, he told me he had the pleasure of meeting your wife.
Yeah, super cool. She says, and then because she actually got me reaching out to you because some girl came in just smoking cigars. Like, hey, have you heard of this? And Jessica's like, Oh yeah, actually, we carry that cigar. I just know, so many cigars, and then that's how I got hooked up with you. But we're here to learn more about you tonight. Now, I don't know anything about you. Like a lot of our guests, like I said, I can find some knowledge. All I know is you're a Marine. You own Tactical Society, and
That's
you own
right.
Guns and Gars.
Yes, sir.
So
Simplify to all my Marines out there.
that's it. You guys just had a birthday. Happy birthday!
Yes,
So.
sir. Yes, sir.
Well, let's. I just thought about this, but before we get into everything else, why you see the Facebook memes, and it's always the Marines or the crayon eating. What where did that start from? That the Marines are, I don't know, dumb, simple? Is that something that happened?
Think about this, bro. You can't be the smartest guy on the planet, man, if you're running towards the bullets. You know what I mean?
There you go. Simple enough for me. So
Yeah.
let's continue. Let's start right there. When did you enter the Marines, and why the Marines of every branch?
Yeah, man. So I went in '95, man, kind of fresh out of high school. And the reason why I joined the Marine Corps because I was always I always liked the challenge, and the Marine Corps kind of was that branch that everybody said was the elite branch. So I wanted to be the best of the best. So that's why I signed up for it. And to be honest with you, I like their uniforms too.
Yeah, we had I graduated in '95, and we had the Marine Corps ROTC, JROTC at our high school. So I got used to the uniforms for 4 years of being there. So how long were you in for?
Yeah, I did 4 years, man, and I fulfilled my contract, and that was long enough for me. And then I decided to get out and move on.
I hear you. Like I said, our son Graham is in the Army, okay. So he's going to fulfill his. I think he did 5 years. Okay. Is what he signed up for, and then he's done. He's just gonna call it a career after that. Then you got my little brother Navy. I think he's 22 years.
Oh wow, yeah. You're getting ready to retire, man. So you got a family full of military veterans over there.
Oh yeah. He just made a chief warrant officer, so he should retire, with some good benefits.
Oh yeah, that's not an easy feat, man, to get that rank, man. A lot of hard work comes with that.
Definitely a lot of hard work, a lot of sacrifice for his family, too. So because his wife, they met on a ship on the USS Enterprise. She was Navy as well.
Oh wow.
So wow. Yeah, still, I don't, I told him don't get hooked up with anybody on the boat, but wow. there he is.
Hey, it's easier said than done. Hey, put you on a boat for 6 months and see what you come back with.
It's a long time on a ship.
Hell yeah.
That is a very, very long time. So any parents watching tonight, listening to the podcast in the future, why is the Marines the best brand? If you talk to everybody has the best brand. Except Air Force, everybody knows they're not the best. But why is the Marines the best?
Man, it's just you got to be a different breed, man, to sign up for that, man. Everybody in the Marine Corps is very skilled at all weaponry. You know what I mean? That's very unique in the military alone, because every branch, you don't have to be considered a basic rifleman. You know what I mean? So to be able to join the Marine Corps, it doesn't matter if you're a girl or you're a guy. You're still trained the same, and their boot camp is twice as long as everybody else's. It's a lot of training comes into that. And plus, we're first to go in, and we're last to leave.
I didn't know their training was twice as long.
Yeah.
So, that's yeah. Are they still doing it? Where did my buddy go? Paris Island? Is that where?
Yeah, it depends on what coast you live close to. I'm a Florida boy, so I didn't have a choice. So they shipped me to Paris Island. But if you live on towards the other coast, then they would send you to Camp Pendleton, which is in California.
Okay.
Paris Island's down here, Kev.
What's that?
Paris Island's down here, South Carolina.
Yeah, South Carolina.
Oh, is that where? I knew it was somewhere in the South. I didn't know exactly. How far away from you is that, Care?
A few hours.
Okay.
Yeah, it's further south.
All right. Yeah, I've seen like the TikToks and training on the beach.
It's not going to be up here where you get a change in season. It's down where it's really hot and humid and sticky and horrible all the time.
So you did your 4 years, you got out, and then yeah, I mean, because we're about the same age. If you got in right after high school, I graduated in '95,
Yeah.
And then so what were you doing? What was what'd you want to do when you get out?
Well, man, I just knew I wanted to get into something that required for me to work for myself. I know I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't really like taking orders, man, to be honest with you. I wanted to get I could be giving them instead of taking them.
Yeah, that's a lot of us. We definitely, I think that's the goal. Is everybody just wants to work for themselves. Now, when you got out, I know now there's a ton of programs for members of the military getting out to starting their own businesses. Was there a lot back then when you were getting out?
No, not really, man. And I'm glad you asked that question. I just recently started an organization called OTS for Vets, and that stands for Offering Transitional Services for Veterans. And what we do, we kind of help them with that transition from active duty to being a civilian. I know I struggled greatly, man, immensely from getting out of the Marines and trying to find a job. It wasn't as easy as people might think. So yeah, we started that organization last year. I teamed up with a guy by the name of George Boswell. Matter of fact, we just put on a huge veterans run here in Clearwater. They gave us the causeway for 2 days, and we did a veterans run. We had a half a marathon, 6 miler, all the way down for something for the kids. We had about 700 people turn out. We had some great sponsors. Shout out to Corona. They were one of my sponsors as well. And the race was a huge success. So we're looking forward to putting on more events to be able to raise money to help our vets.
Oh, that's awesome. I'll definitely have to get a link to that from you. And then where can people chime? Can they help? How can the regular person help that cause out?
Yeah, they can go to our website, which is OTS, the number 4, .org, OTSforvet.org. And they can donate, or they can sign up to be a volunteer. We have our races. We always need volunteers. And even when it comes to with transitioning for our occupations, if we have some business owners that want to help veterans transition and offer them jobs, because these vets, man, they're really good at doing different jobs. They know how to take orders and they know how to get it done. So I would urge a lot of these business owners, man, to hire veterans when you have the opportunity. They're a great resource.
I the resource that and that I would like, and I never even thought about it until now. We've struggled at my job. So I'm a mechanic. I work for Tires Plus, part of Bridgestone Firestone Corporation, and we've really struggled with hiring vets. The younger kids, like the 24 to 27, 28, 30. I wish there was a way for a company to teach us how to talk with vets. Maybe we haven't had good luck. We haven't had good luck with these kids of just coming in and just they I don't know if they don't like to if they still don't want to take orders. Sometimes it's think they know it all. It's like we've got a kid now who he used to work on helicopters, and it's just like it's and he's not good, on cars, on that transition. And we feel like there's something in our company he could be good at, but it's, in his current role, it's tough, and then I think about my son, Graham, he's 26, he's getting out, I think about the same thing. How is he going to have those struggles finding those jobs as well?
Well, I mean, I don't want to be biased. What branch was he in?
he was Navy.
Okay, all right.
He's a little soft. He's a little soft.
I'm not gonna get caught up in that, Kevin. But man, just let me know when you want a couple jarheads, man. A couple Marines. I send a couple your way. That we need. We need the ones that have the discipline that and it's just that's what.
and we could tell that these kids are struggling too, of trying to find their way in the world, because I mean they're getting out, and as you know, I mean, you don't make anything in the military. Like a lot of these kids, they come out with no savings. You know, a lot of times families have moved away. They come back and they're struggling financially. They're struggling mentally. You know, and then now they got to work a 40-hour job with someone like me, who's not always the nicest guy, yelling at him all the time, and it's
that's the worst there. I mean,
hey, Kevin, that might be the problem, bro.
I was gonna say, I think I got a problem.
It just might be, you know.
I mean, for you, Kev.
Yeah, they usually don't let me talk to like anybody new. Like I'm technically the trainer in the shop, but when they like to start people new, and like for like the first week, they're like, just stay away from him. You know, like, you know, it's just, you know, I don't know. It is probably me. So what were you doing? Like when you got out, you know, bouncing around a couple things, you know, like what was, you know.
I bounced my head across the wall, man, to be perfectly honest with you, man. I struggled trying to find my niche. You know what I mean? I had a few jobs, and you know when you get that feeling, you're waking up in the morning, you're dropping those F-bombs in the morning because you hate, you know, you don't want to go to work. So I did that more than my share of times I want to, you know, even want to remember. But I just got to the point to where I started asking myself, what is that one thing that, you know, I would love to do, and if I didn't get paid for it, what would it be? You know, and it all went back to what I've been doing since I was a kid, and that's always been something in protection. You know, I've always been put in a position of being a protector. So that's my purpose, and then I figured out a way to monetize it.
So how, you know, so obviously now you're, you know, you run the Tactical Society. How did did you start in, you know, talking about Protector? I know you do, you know, private security and stuff like that. Is that how you started, like getting into private security, or did you just start the Tactical Society? How did this all come about?
Well, my overall goal when I first started, I wanted to have my own security agency. And when I started that journey, there was a 2-year waiting period before I could actually have an agency, unless I hired someone that had a particular license that I needed to run that agency. So I had a 2-year period of downtime. So what I decided to do in those 2 years, I decided to start my own gear line. So Tactical Society, a lot of that stuff is my own licensed trademark gear, from the bulletproof vest, knives, boots. There's a lot of different products that I started during that waiting period. So when that 2 years finally came, I had my own gear line, and then I was able to start that agency. But I also had 100 other ideas that I wanted to do as well. So I trademarked guns, and then I started manufacturing guns, and then I started getting got my license to be a firearm instructor. Once I got the firearm instructor, I went and got my private investigative license. So there's a lot of different moving parts under that Tactical Society.
Oh yeah, you can definitely see by the website. You know, every time you click on one thing, it takes you to another page, and then I remember I was fooling around with it, and I was probably on your site for an hour. And I bet I had 9 tabs opened up, and I'm like, good God. Like, I mean, literally, you could go to your website, Tactical Society, you know, it'll be scrolling somewhere on the bottom.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to go anywhere else. I mean, you know, gear, protection, guns, you know, concealed weapons, whatever you need, you know, it's really all encompassed in your website and under that one big umbrella.
Yeah, man, and that was my overall goal, man. I wanted to have all things tactical under one page. Like you said, I want to be able to get people there, and anything that you need in the realm of security and protection, it's all there. And then and now I got Cigar. So now listen, I'm good, man. I don't need any more projects right now.
you just need the alcohol, and then the ATF will be all.
That's coming, Kevin. That's coming.
Oh, okay. There you go. Like I said, you know, just one ATF inspector come in, he can do it all, right? You know, right there.
That's the last piece for the trifecta, man. Alcohol, tobacco, and firearms.
That's it. So being a veteran owned business, do you try and hire mainly vets, or how big is the company? Like how many employees do you guys have?
Well, as far as on the security side, we have about between 12 to 20 at any time of the security guards. I also have some of those guys that offer executive protection as well. Regarding on the private investigation side of the company, I just started that probably like maybe 2 months ago. So I am the one that is providing the private investigative services, and on the Cigar side, we're starting to hire sales reps. So we're scaling everything, almost at the same time.
Oh, nice.
Oh, right on. So like out of all the employees, like I said, what's your ratio of vets to non-vets?
Well, I try to hire vets, man. It's just probably 90% of my staff are veterans. I like to hire veterans because it's very easy for me to communicate with them. You know what I mean? I don't have to fluff anything. It is what it is. I can talk to them direct, and they know how to carry out the job, or AKA the missions. And it's really easy for me to work with them. That's just my preference, but and that's not saying I won't hire anybody else that doesn't have military experience, but I do prefer veterans.
That was actually my next question: the difference in communicating with your employees, vets versus non-vets. I've been around other businesses that have been veteran-owned with veteran employees, and I've kind of seen, with the veterans, like I say, you just cut to the chase really fucking quickly. It's no big.
Kevin, just like that. See, listen, Kevin, you would have ended up in HR dropping F-bombs. You know what I mean? Hey, I can do it. It's just the way we communicate.
That's it. Like I tell my HR, I didn't call him fucking stupid. I asked him if he was fucking stupid. See, there's a big difference, So that's why they keep me away from some of the new
find
kids.
that hard, Kev, that you'd be
it's all starting to
HR.
make sense, Kevin. It's all making sense now.
Yeah, this is a good show for me. I'm looking introspectively here. It's like, wow, maybe it is me, but then it's not. It's them. It's always them. How do you go about pairing the right protection agent or security with the client? I know sometimes, because I worked in private security. I have my class D and G. I still kept it up. I haven't done it in years, and mine was just guarding rich people's houses, like $1 million homes, and it was pretty gravy on that. So how do you go about pairing the right client with the right agent?
A lot of people have the idea that when it comes to security and protection, that you just need some big burly guy, right? I like thinkers. You know what I mean? I like people that know how to de-escalate situations. So for me, it's always about what's going on in somebody's head. So for me, I like to be able to talk to the people that I'm hiring and make sure they know how to de-escalate situations rather than cause further problems. So I'm big on the communicators, people that know how to talk to people that know how to be pleasant, and at the end of the day can stop a situation before it happens.
Yeah, that was one thing. I ran a bar for a couple of years before I got into security, and that was one thing they asked me during my interview. Have you had any experience with de-escalating situations? Like, yeah, I managed a bar for a couple of years. I can definitely de-escalate a situation pretty quickly.
How many bar fights, Kevin?
None. There was not
You had absolutely no bar fights.
No. So the bar I ran was at a resort. So it was people on vacation. Yeah, people on vacation. So it wasn't like a bar. Now, I had buddies that ran bar. Actually, the bar right down the street from Corona Cigar. Like, I wouldn't go there in my 20s because unless they were working, because there was bar fights every night. But in my bar, no, there were arguments. You de-escalate it. You buy someone a drink, and that's it. So yeah, no bar fights at mine. But yeah, it's that's not fun. But
never.
No, never. And then the only thing I had to deal with was, because I was a patrol supervisor as well, showing up and some guy was sleeping. One of my guards, it's like, God, you got one job. Don't sleep.
Right.
Especially in the guard shack as they're coming up, to get checked into their $1 million homes. They don't want to see some dude sleeping.
No,
You know,
that's a tough one to explain.
Yeah. That's a tough one to explain to the boss.
Right.
Let's move on. Like so, how far along? So, what year did you start the cigar side of the company?
I started the cigars, man, a little bit over a year ago. Man. I just started smoking cigars, man, a little bit over a year ago.
Wait, you just started smoking cigars?
I just started smoking cigars
Really?
a little bit over a year ago, man. About a year and a half, maybe.
Wow.
So tell us that story. We'll start off there. That story. So who, what, where, when, why?
Well, man, at the time I started smoking cigars, to be transparent, I was kind of going through a lot, man. I had a lot, that I was dealing with. I had, I was kind of still dealing with at the time the death of my brother, and I would come up to Corona, to kind of just to, network on some of my other business stuff. And my mentor at the time would always try to get me cigars with them, but I just didn't. I wasn't a fan of the smoke. I didn't want the smoke. But, I just wasn't a fan of the smoke. But I loved the opportunity to be around other business people that were doing, big things here in Tampa. So one day I was having a rough day, and I was like, man, you know what? Give me a cigar. And he handed me a cigar. Matter of fact, my first cigar was an Atabey. And I sparked the cigar up, and I just remember him tapping me and was like, man, yo, B, are you good? I went somewhere, but wherever it was good, and I enjoyed it. You know what I mean? And I just fell in love with it, man. I fell in love with the cigar, and before you knew it, man, I was up here every day smoking cigars. He was like, damn, man. He was like, I know you were gonna like it, but I didn't know you were gonna like it this much. So that's how I got started smoking cigars.
So, wow. Some guys and some women, they just get right into it. They smoke their first one, and then it is just, they get the ball rolling right from there. At least he got you a good one. The Atabey.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I went I dove into the deep end of the pool, man.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to back up. It's hard to back up after you had an Atabey. It's hard to go down to that $5 cigar.
I was just stuck, man. Here I got this expensive habit, smoking $30 and $40 cigars every day.
Yeah, that is definitely it.
Yeah.
And if you didn't like it, that definitely would never have you going back again after paying that price for a cigar.
Oh yeah, but yeah, Corona is a great place to do. I don't know how many people we've had on that have lived around the Corona area, and they start off just going there, just doing meetings, marketing. Tons of people, especially Corona Tampa, tons of influential people. Hanging out there.
It's a great networking hole, man. Like you can meet all types of people, man, from all walks of life, and it's just a great. I like to call it. It's a great bridge, man. Like you can literally have conversations with people, and from all walks of life, and it's just a good spot to be.
Yeah. I remember being up there. I don't know, probably a year and a half ago, and just meeting some of the guys up there. And I was up there before they even opened up, and there was officially opened up in the morning, and there was one guy sitting in there. So I just sat down over by him. We started talking and, just chit chatting, mentioned I had some plumbing work to do or whatnot. He gave me one of his business cards, and he's like the largest plumbing contractor in Tampa.
Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy, Mike.
Oh, is he? Okay. So, and he's just like, if you have any questions, you need anything, here's my card. Just give me a call. He goes, I don't go out to people's houses anymore, but, I can get you, I can get you some info if you need any help. And I'm like, where else but a cigar lounge, man?
I know, right? Yeah, that's Mike, man. Mikey Mike. Yeah, he's good people.
Yeah, he was definitely super, super good people. So how far into your journey? You're smoking cigars. Where were you that day? You're like, I want to do this. I can do this.
Man, it was crazy because, like I said, man, when I was coming here, I was getting so much business on the tactical side, on the gun side of the business, man. I was selling guns. I was doing a lot of concealed weapon permits, and I was like, damn, I didn't realize so many people that shoot guns also love cigars. So I remember going home. I was like, man, how can I put these two together? How can I marry the guns and the cigars? And I was like, you know what? Guns, cigars. I was like, I'm gonna call this shit Guns and Gars. And growing up where I'm from, they called cigars Gars. It was the slang for cigars. So, and it sounded better to me than guns and cigars. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna roll with it. And I just started making the connections, man. I started figuring out, who the players were, who I needed to talk to about, figuring out how to grow it, who was growing it, who was distributing it, and here we are, man. A little bit over a year later.
That's pretty quick. That's pretty quick. And then to be able to get into Corona Cigar, like that's the hardest place. Like there's no other lounge, there's no other online company that's harder to get into. But Jeff loves guns,
Man,
Jeff.
Hey, I always have to shout out Jeff and Tanya, man. Like because they gave me my shot. So I have nothing but love for them, man. And every time I have the opportunity to thank them, I'm going to continue to thank them. They're a wonderful couple, but Corona Cigar is a wonderful company as well, man. So this is like my second office, so I'm always here.
We missed you out of the farm 2 weekends ago for the barn smoker.
Yeah, man. I had some security stuff. I couldn't make it, but I heard the stories. I heard it was a good turnout. Oh,
it's always a good turnout. Have you been out to the farm yet at all?
No, I haven't. I got to get out there, man. I sold Jeff one of my guns, and I got to get out there and see if he can shoot.
Oh yeah, what would you? I mean, without going into, I don't know if it's privacy. Would you sell him?
Yeah. What's that? I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
What'd you sell him? What guns you sell him?
I don't know if Jeff wants me to
okay, yeah. I'll leave that. I'll leave that go. You'll like his big military vehicle he's got out there. Some giant, hey,
former military. Can he shoot, Kevin?
I don't know. I've never seen Jeff shoot. I mean, there's always people out at the farm, so I mean, he could shoot out there if he wanted, but there's always 800 people every time I'm out there, so it's
I gotta get out there and see what he can do.
I know, and I'll have to get out there too. I'll have to bring mine out there too, because which I haven't shot all year. I haven't shot a single time this year. I used to shoot competitively in the Glock Sports Shooting Foundation, the GSSF.
Okay, so you know a little something, Kev.
I know a little something. I need to hone up. It was the last time I was out. Last match I went to. Man, I was high left and I just couldn't. So I just ended up compensating,
that sounds like your trigger, man. It sounds like your trigger finger, bro.
Yeah, my buddy that got me into shooting, he was in the CIA for his entire life, and then he passed away. He taught me everything I know. So now then I got a buddy that shoots competitive. He's actually the #1 1911 shooter in the U.S. Robert Bowers, and he doesn't like Glocks that much, he likes his 1911. So he doesn't like, when I go out there with him, I bring my Glock. He brings his $10,000 1911.
Man, you got to make that introduction. I don't know if you know, but my that band, my band is a 1911. That's my favorite firearm. Take a look at it.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. He's building me a 1911 now. I took a basic like Taurus 1911, and then we had it fully custom engraved, and then he's got 100% Ed Brown internals. So basically, kind of turning it into an Ed Brown 1911 because I can't afford a real Ed Brown 1911. So
that's gonna be a nice firearm.
It's definitely gonna be nice. They're engraved in the side of it is an Irish Gaelic phrase. I can't pronounce the phrase, but in English it translates to "May you fall without rising." So I figured that was apropos for the side of a gun.
Oh yeah.
So where did you go? Who'd you talk to? I don't even know who makes your cigars. Where was that? How was that process?
Yeah, I'm getting my cigars are being made down in Nicaragua at the Payas factory down there. I was introduced to him through a friend of mine here in Tampa. They made an introduction, and I went and met with him a couple times, and I told him what I was trying to do, and he said, "You know what? If I had a penny for every time somebody told me that, you know what I mean?" But I said, I'm gonna get it done. I said, "Don't worry, I'm gonna get it done." And I saw it through, and here we are, man.
So was there a lot of back and forth, or did you tell him he send you some blends, You know,
Yeah. He sent me probably 30 blends, man. And over a period of probably like 6 months, I tried out each one of them. I didn't smoke them all the way through, but I at least tried them all, and I picked my favorite four out of those. And then I told him, look, man, I want a combination of these four. And he told me, well, Brian, I want you to narrow it down to two. And I narrowed it down to two, and that was the blend that I really liked to smoke, and I gave it to a lot of my friends, and and got their opinions on it, and then I just stuck with it, and that was the one that I went with.
Which blend was that? What was your first blend?
So my very first blend, I started out with the Connecticut. It was the Connecticut Nicaraguan all the way through, and a lot of people didn't really like when I first came out with that one. It wasn't a hit until I added the sweet tip on it, and added the sweet tip on that one, and then I went from that one and I went to the Maduro, and from the Maduro we went to the Barbacoa. So now we have three blends.
So I haven't tried I've tried the Connecticut or the Barber Pole. It's my third one. I have the Connecticut here. I didn't know it was a sweet tip. I'll definitely be smoking that one tomorrow to see how I like a sweetened tip. I don't know about it. Some people don't like it. I haven't liked it.
I mean, it depends on it. For me, it just depends on how sweet it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, if it's just subtle, it definitely can make the smoking experience completely different and enjoyable.
Kurt, I'm with you on that one, Kurt. I didn't want something that was too overbearing.
Right.
But it has enough sweetness to where you can definitely you can taste it. And it tastes really good in the morning. It's like a kind of a dessert type morning coffee cigar. Maybe a cigar you want to have midday, so you're not stuck looking at the looking at the sun. You know what I mean? So you can still get back to work type of cigar. And that's one of my favorites right now.
I'm sure it's great with a cup of coffee. If I don't put sugar in my coffee, but I have had some sweetened tips in the morning with some coffee, and it definitely adds that extra sweetness that if I like my coffee black, just straight up, but a sweetened tip definitely can make the experience completely different.
Oh yeah, now why the 660? I mean, you look like a pretty big dude, so I could see the 660 being. But is that, did you try various sizes, or you're just like, yeah?
No, man, I like the 6x60. It was something that felt comfortable in my hands. I really don't like the smaller cigars. It just don't feel right when I'm smoking them. But the 660 was my go-to from the jump. However, I am in the process of making a Robusto, something a little smaller, because a lot of the ladies that love that Connecticut, they want something a little bit smaller. So I'm working on that one out.
Yeah, even me, like I said, I enjoy 660 on occasion. I like the Robusto just because of the time frame. A lot of times, I want a little bit quicker cigar. So sometimes I look at various cigars I have. I'm like, oh, I really want that one, but man, that's a beast. That's going to take some time to smoke, and I'm not. I don't have that much time yet. What about more blends? Are you thinking about coming out with different blends, or?
Not right now, Kel. Right, I want to perfect this. I want to continue to scale what I have. And like I said, I do have I have another project that I'm working on with the on the alcohol side right now too. So I want to continue to scale this part of the business, and then once I get to a point to where I feel like this is where I want it to be, then I'll come out with something. I do have something in mind for another blend. So, but I'll make sure you get them first.
Oh, right on. And honestly, I love hearing that, because there are so many companies, brand owners that they just want to come out with blend after blend after blend, and it's refreshing to hear. Like I said, I have my own. Two blends. That's all I have. Care came out with his. Slowly, working out. Each blend, and then but like I said, other companies, I want 10 cigars. They make 10 cigars, and 8 of them end up not being that great.
Right.
When they say what's new? It's like, well, I just released that cigar 3 months ago. It's going to be new for another 18, 24 months. It's new. That's what's new. It's in your hand.
That's it. Now, Kurt, you said you're going to be hiring some sales staff. Like right now, how are you getting your cigars into the hands of consumers in lounge? Are you in a few lounges? Quite a few?
Yeah, we're in 17 right now. And which is, amazing for, looking at about 6-7 months of
that's fantastic. Yeah,
that's great.
Right. So, and those have been based off relationships, man. To be honest with you, man, those have been. It's hard for people to tell you no once I'm at Corona. You know what I mean? Like this is like the mecca of cigars. So it's hard for people to turn you away once they know that you're here on the shelf. However, at the same time, I'm at that point now to where I know I have to hire people to be able to scale the business.
Corona helps. It's the same on my end when it comes to advertising or it comes to whatever I'm doing, and then people will like, oh, you're hooked up with Jeff at Corona, and like, yeah, I'll work with you. It's just like, so.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also because people know Jeff is just not going to work with anybody. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, Jeff's name is it takes you a long way. So it's good to be able to my grandfather used to always say, man, all a man has is his name. You know what I mean? I won't say the other part, but it's very important. Your reputation is good.
That's it. Now I think Jeff telling me, I think wasn't the first time you guys met, wasn't it like at the Dennis Prager event? Was that what he was?
Yeah, it was, man. I came up. Do you know Tommy? I'm pretty sure you know Tommy.
Oh yeah, everybody knows Tommy. Yeah,
everybody knows Tommy. Hey, Tommy, one of those guys that, hey, if he likes you, he loves you. But if he don't like you, you're sure gonna know about it.
Yeah, and if he don't like you, he will talk shit about you to everybody.
We know we don't like you.
That's it. Everybody gonna know Tom. Yeah, everybody gonna know Tommy don't like you.
Yeah, so I, my friend Ira is the manager at the Tampa. He's a Marine too, right? So Ira introduced me to Tommy, and then Tommy introduced me to Jeff.
Okay, and Ira knows Ira will take a picture with somebody, and I'm like, how the fuck do you know that guy? And he's like,
he's a superstar, bro. He's a Tampa superstar.
He is. I imagine he can't even go into a grocery store. Everybody knows Ira. We love talking with Ira, and unlike Tommy, Ira's always happy.
Ira's good. He's good people, man. Damn good people. Hey, Kev. Matter of fact, speaking of Dennis Prager, did you see that picture that I posted on my social media?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, man. He took a picture with my cigar box, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, man. That was dope, man. Nice. I wasn't even around. One of my friends, Brandon Rhymes, gave him a box of my cigars, and he took a picture with it.
Oh man, he is I don't know. Some people don't like him. I love Dennis Prager. He is just, he's just a cool cat. He just tells it like it is, and that's it.
Yeah, I haven't got an opportunity to meet him in person, but I'm looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, I'm hoping one day. I know he's a big cigar guy. Maybe one day we'll get him on the show, but he's traveling, 7 days a week. He's always somewhere. So, are you all day, every day? I mean, if we come to your office, you always got a cigar in your hand? Or are you just an all day, everyday cigar smoker?
Well, I usually don't smoke too many throughout the day. What I try to do is when I get done with work, I try to come grab me a stick, towards the late afternoon, evening, and kind of puts me in the right mind frame to kind of relax a little bit before I get ready to crash out. But probably like, man, at least 4 or 5 days out of the week I smoke.
It's definitely the perfect way to wind down the evening. I know, it's just, and then just contemplate everything that's gone on during the day. 'Cause sometimes it's hard to, or it's easy with a cigar just to zone out. I know Jessica sometimes will be in the lounge with me here, like snap her fingers at me. And she's like, I've been talking to you for like a minute. And I'm like, oh man, just, you got a good cigar. You're just, you're off into some distant land.
Yeah, man. I do my best thinking, man, when I'm smoking my cigars, man. I kind of go somewhere else, and it's nothing like it, man. This thing has been a life changer for me, and I'm not, no bullshit. This thing has really, gave me some great ideas and put me in a good place, especially after a long day.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Care's lucky. Care works from home, so he gets to smoke cigars all day.
Yeah, that's such a blessing, Kevin.
yeah, it's a
that's a damn good job.
It was when Jessica first started at Corona Sarasota. They were slow, obviously, and she smoked 4, 5, 6 cigars a day. And I'm like, oh man, that must be nice. Now they're so busy. So some days she doesn't get a cigar all day. And it's like, oh, that sucks. You got to watch other people smoke cigars all day long.
Yeah, that sucks.
You're working from home too. It sounds great, and it's like that means you're accessible all the time.
Yeah,
all the time.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, are you busy? Nah, it's 10 o'clock at night. I got nothing going on.
Yeah, that's it. Work from home. Care's not showing his pee bottles. From being on conference calls all day long.
I'm having a urinal installed. Just for that reason, Kev.
Yeah. So when you're not smoking your own cigars, what are you digging on? That's out there. We all can't smoke Atabays every day. Not at that price. Good God.
Yeah, I like the Feral Pigs.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of those. Yeah, man.
God, that cigar will kill me. I've tried smoking a couple of those. Oh my God, it drops me to my knees.
Oh, it's too strong for you?
Yeah, something happens when they take that big cigar and they put it down in that pig size.
Yeah,
man, it is. Jessica will smoke them, no issues. For me, it's a little too strong for me.
Yeah, I only smoke it when I don't plan on going anywhere.
Yeah. Now, what about Jeff's FSG? Have you tried the FSG cigar?
No, I haven't, man. But I'll probably try one before I leave. Now that you mention it, but no, I haven't had that one yet.
It's a good cigar, man. It's a great cigar.
Great cigar, and then they also have downstairs as well, and they actually have my sticker, the cigar prop. My number one cigar of the year last year was the Army of Angels. Because do you know Angel Benitez, the GM of Corona?
Yeah, I know Angel.
Okay. So Angel has his own cigar, and it's made by Paul Palmer at Aganorsa, and it's got some FSG in it. If you like a strong cigar, that is a strong stout cigar and a cigar I love.
Yeah, I got my buddy in the background. He put his thumbs up, so it must be a good stick.
It is a fantastic stick.
Yeah, you sent me some, and they're really good. They're delicious.
Oh yeah, fantastic. So what else you been digging on lately? You getting in any other boutique cigars like yourself? Boutique companies?
No, man. I try to always smoke mine, man, because people always ask, "Hey, man, what are you smoking on?" And they see the band. The band is pretty eye catching. It's not the standard size band. So when people see the band, they always ask me about the cigar, and I'm able to tell them the story behind the cigar. And then once I let them try it, then I got a new customer. You know what I mean? So I always try to keep mine in my hand as much as I can.
Oh, for sure. Except you got to take the band off about halfway through. It's a pretty big band.
It is, but that's the conversation piece, Kevin. Because when you take the band off and you put it down, people see the band. They're like, what is that?" And that's what gets the conversation started.
That's it, and it make perfect magnets. We've been hanging on to all of these bands because I love this.
Have you folded it in half yet, Kevin? Fold it in half. Fold the band in half. I need you to put that up on the camera, man. I think you missed that.
Get the hell out of here! How the hell did I miss?
You missed that, baby.
Folding it in half. Oh my God! It's a gun.
That's this evening, Kev. You would have caught on that in heartbeat earlier.
Yeah, I know that is awesome. Now I gotta go show Jessica. Like, Jessica, look what happens when you fold this band in half. So that's gonna be cool. We can't wait to do something cool with these bands.
Yeah, man.
So right on. We're gonna pivot a little bit, get a little bit more into guns. I know guns are always a great topic. Right. Jessica hates because I love guns. Like I said, I used to shoot competitively. She hates watching movies with me with guns. because I'm around the counter. Do you do that when you watch a movie? It's like,
I do. Everybody thinks we're crazy.
It is, because like I said, sometimes I won't even know I'm counting out loud. I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like I'm like 15, 16, 17. I'm like, no, this is bullshit now. It's getting getting out of hand.
Yeah.
So, what do you think of the John Wick movies?
Well, that was a movie I was counting rounds, and there was some bullshit there. He shot like 100 damn guns in that movie, man. I was like, wait a minute, this count ain't right.
I think a lot of times he was good, but there were a lot of times it's like that was way too many. The last one, I was disappointed with the final one because of the bulletproof jackets they were wearing. All they had to do was hold it up, and then the jacket didn't move. It was just I'm like that's not the way physics works. Right. It just that jacket would have to weigh 300 pounds for that jacket not to move.
But you know what, Kevin? I wouldn't be surprised if they got some shit out there that's already doing
that. I'm sure. I follow a couple TikTok channels of some ex-CIA guys that have started a podcast, and they have talked about some of the stuff that the CIA has and the government has. That's just crazy stuff, But yeah,
how it is with these movies, man. They show us 10 years in advance, and then the next thing you know, it's on the market.
That's why we watch so many movies about aliens, and now look.
Yeah.
Arrived.
Yeah, that's it. 20. They're already preparing us. 2025, baby. 2025. The aliens are going to acknowledge that they exist if the government doesn't step in and tell us. That's according to some. I don't know. I get into that rabbit hole of the conspiracy theories.
That other show on YouTube.
That other show on YouTube as well. Are you an alien believer, Brian?
Yeah, but I don't think we're the only ones here, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
No.
I mean, it's 100 trillion stars in our own galaxy. How can we be the only ones? How can we be the only ones here? So
I think I might have even met a couple.
Yeah. I've definitely met some strange cats.
Hey, Kevin, I'm single, bro. I think I met a couple alien women, bro. I swear I have.
Yeah. How are you still single?
I don't know, man. It's rough out here, bro.
So is it like at my job and it's me? Is it you?
Hey, Kevin, I am the common denominator, right?
That's it.
There's a common denominator, but
it is tough these days.
Well, Kevin, you're talking about John Wick movies and shooting, but wasn't it Keanu Reeves who, with the filming, a lot of the competitive shooters now will flick out the magazine because of what he was doing in that movie?
Yeah. A buddy of mine that's a competitive shooter said that that they do that now. Just the way in that last movie where he was flicking the magazine out, because they've actually started doing that. So that was just something he invented. He just did it.
I saw a video on that. One of those rabbit hole videos that you start watching when you're on YouTube.
That's it. Now, do you get irritated like I do when people call it a clip instead of a magazine?
Not so much. I mean, it doesn't really irritate me. At the end of the day, as long as you know what it's for, right? As long as you know that's where the bullets go at.
Kevin taking a shot at me indirectly there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I've always thought, and maybe I'm wrong. I'm dealing with two professionals here, that usually you refer to it as a clip when it goes into a pistol, but a magazine if it goes into a rifle.
No.
Listen,
Kevin, I'm gonna let you handle that one.
Yeah. It's magazine either way, Care. Yeah.
I see where that guy at work's coming from, Kevin.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I don't know him. I never met him, but I got his back. I'm on his side.
That's it. So, delving into the cigar world, did you? Because obviously, coming from the firearm side of it, I mean, that YouTube hates firearms, Instagram hates firearms. I mean, the hell, they hated that I had a picture of a lighter, in my background. Did you know that, coming into the cigars, that like that's also a big no-no, almost impossible to advertise and promote, your cigars as well?
Honestly, I didn't, man. And even when I started my security company, like I said, I had trademarked firearms way before I even, really had the idea to do it. I knew I wanted to do it, but I didn't know how soon I was going to, actually have the opportunity to dive into the firearms as far as with my own line. But I posted some on my social media, and I immediately got flagged, right? And I started getting those dirty messages from Mark Zuckerberg or whoever it is behind those messages saying, "Hey, look, you can't post any firearms on social media." So I learned the hard way. But it's kind of disheartening too, because all this talk about guns and how bad they are, but until you need one, it changes the story. Once you need one and then you don't have it, then those are the people that convert over, and then now those are the people that are some of my best customers. So we could talk about that all day, man. But I do think everyone should have a firearm to be able to protect themselves and their family. That's why I got into it, and that is the sole reason. I want people to be able to protect themselves and their family, and it is our Second Amendment right to be able to own firearms. So, which is hence why I called the cigar the Second Amendment cigar.
Yeah, and to protect yourself, protect your family, and when push comes to shove, protect the community. Correct. Against you never know what. I remember, it was probably going back like 4 years ago. I'm driving around out of my house and heading up to Home Depot, and there is a very pregnant woman. She had to be every bit of 9 months pregnant, just walking, she just does her walking when she was pregnant. And two of our other neighbors' dogs, they were pretty aggressive dogs, had got out of their fence, and they ran up and they were jumping on top of her. And like I said, I instantly pulled over, pulled out my gun. I was going to do what needed to be done to save this woman. And of course the guy comes out, "Don't shoot my dogs, don't shoot my dogs." I'm like, they're attacking a pregnant woman. Right. So you never know. You never know when, like the guy in the mall, that made that incredible shot. One guy carrying a gun. How many lives did he save that day? So you never know when you're going to. Like you said, better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it.
That's right.
But one thing that I really want to talk about, because I haven't delved into it. I've kind of looked into it, and it's still really unclear for me. But because you do concealed weapons permits, Florida's new constitutional carry law, right? Like I'm not up on everything. I have my concealed weapons permit. You don't have to have one anymore to carry a concealed weapon in the state of Florida, correct? Correct.
However,
yes.
I'm sorry to cut you off, Kev.
No, go ahead. However, I want to hear where you're going.
It's important. It's imperative to have your concealed firearm weapon, because you cannot leave the state of Florida with that firearm if you do not have that concealed weapon permit. So there are other states in the U.S. that offer what's called reciprocity, which means that they still recognize or honor Florida's concealed weapon permit. So, you don't have to have the permit to be able to carry here in Florida, but you better not leave the state with it.
Okay, yeah, because I have friends up north, like, is it Maine, that doesn't issue at all, and their residents, they hate it because they can't go anywhere with their guns. So that was going to be my next question. So Florida is still issuing permits, but you don't have to have one. But if you want one, you can still get it.
Correct. Yes. And then my company offers that, tacticalsociety.com. You can go to my website and schedule a training to be able to get that permit. And one of the most important reasons also to have your concealed firearm permit is, you don't have to have your, by Florida's law, you don't have to have the permit. But guess what that means? That means there's a lot of people out there that now own firearms that do not know how to shoot. They do not know how to safely carry a firearm. So I would think that one would want to be in a better position to use their firearm better than the perpetrator.
Oh, exactly. I learned so much even after being in guns, for so long of where I can carry, where I can't carry. If you don't take that class, like there's no ignorance of the law, doesn't forgive you for breaking a law. If you carry in the wrong place, you're going to jail. Yeah. If you brandish, like I said, so all these things you learn in a concealed weapons class will only help you. Like I said, it's crazy. So I'm glad to hear that they're still issuing permits. So when mine's up for renewal, which I just renewed mine, so I'm good for a while. That I can still get those. Plus, like I said, if you want to buy a gun, like I said, it's easier to have a concealed weapons because then you can just take your gun with you instead of having that wait period. Correct.
Yep. So now, if you buy your firearm with your concealed weapon permit, you don't have to wait that 3 to 5 day waiting period, depending on your county that you're in. So you purchase that firearm, they run your background check, and you leave with that firearm the same day. If you do not have that permit, you have to wait that mandatory waiting period, depending on your county.
Yeah. Okay. Right on. Now, when you give a concealed weapons class, do you do any type of like firearm training within that class? I had a buddy that took a class a couple of years ago. The only reason I asked, and then the last part of the class, they shot a BB gun.
Unfortunately, there are some instructors that teach that way. I'm not one of those instructors. I sleep very good at night because when you're done with our training, I know that God forbid you had to use that firearm. I know that you were taught what you need to be able to do to protect yourself and your family. So no, we take you through the class portion where you're going to spend some time in the classroom, and then after the classroom, you're going to have to show me or an instructor that you are proficient with that firearm on the range, and that means you have to consistently be able to hit a target.
Okay, so on mine, when I took my class, at the end, we shot, a gun. So you walk up to, is an indoor range, and the guy's like, okay, pick up your gun, point it somewhere down there.
Wow.
Squeeze the trigger,
right.
Put the gun back down. The only way you can fail is if you point the gun at me. And we had one person that pointed the gun at the instructor, and he failed.
That's crazy.
What?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Some people that shoot, they ask you to shoot in a bucket. I've heard stories about that too. So
what? Really?
Yeah, that you just actually shoot the gun down inside of a bucket that's filled with sand, and that's your class. But it's again, man, you're gonna have some people that just don't do a good job, man. But there's so many instructors that love what they do and are passionate about what they do, and those are the instructors that I always like to promote. You know what I mean? There's more doing it the right way than not.
Yeah, exactly. And I've over the last 10 years, I've taken a few classes at our local range. Will be like this NRA instructor will be there for the weekend, so I go down there and just brush up, get some tips, some tricks. And I remember years ago, everybody had their hearing protection on, and at one point he's like, "All right, take your hearing protection off," and I'd ask him, after I saw a few people go, I'm like, "Why do you ask people to take their hearing protection off?" And he goes, "Because people don't realize how loud a gun is. It's like people will get startled. They'll be in a real life situation or somebody. That's when he also taught me, if you keep your gun on your nightstand, which before we had kids in the house, I always did. Make sure you point it away from yourself, because the first thing you're going to do is you're going to grab that gun and you're probably going to pull that trigger." And he goes, "It's loud. People get scared." So it's like, oh, hey, that's a good idea. Practice, realizing how loud, a gun actually is.
Oh yeah, and it's also good too, man, to put yourself in situations inside your home, man. Whether that means, what's your action plan inside the house? If someone were to come in your house, run your family through those drills. Like, where are you going to go? Like, are you going to go to this room? What's the? Is there a special knock when you come back in the room to let us know that it's you? But there's a lot of things that people don't think about when it comes to firearms, but that's what we teach.
Yeah. There's been a few times. Luckily, we have a pit bull that sleeps in our bed with us. She's the one greeting you at the door if you decide to come into our house. But there's only been twice in the last 7 years that Jessica has been in here to where I've had to grab my gun and it's readily available. And then she doesn't have anything, but even coming back into the room, announce your presence that it's you coming back in, right. Because we've seen those stories about the wife that does have a gun, shooting the husband that right. comes back in, that's Jessica's decent with a gun. I'm not sure if she'd hit me, but I don't want to take that. I don't want to take that chance. You don't want to take that chance. That's it. I definitely do not want to take that chance. I remember the first time I took her shooting up in North Carolina with my buddy. He had a couple 22s laid out for her, and she was, plinking them off at a target, and then he gave her his a 45. I forget which gun it was, what model. But she fired off like 6 rounds, and she's like, "I like this." And then so we were just kept loading them for her. And then after like 10 minutes, my buddy Butch is like, "Hey Jess, you know how much this is costing me?" Yeah, definitely not cheap. His favorite gun. We're gonna get into your favorite gun. His favorite gun was his 50 cal BMG Armalite. That gun was crazy. He'd take that to the range, and after the first shot, there'd be guys, everybody, watching him. He shot that on an indoor range. A 50 no, that was outdoor. That was an outdoor. Damn. No, there was he did go to an indoor range somewhere here in Florida that said that he could shoot that rifle indoors. And he squeezed the trigger the first time, and it blew out all of the overhead fluorescent lamps. And they said, "Yeah, you can't shoot that anymore."
That's a big boy.
Yeah, that's it. So, what's your favorite? What's your favorite handgun? What's your favorite rifle? And what manufacturer?
Right now, my favorite handgun is going to be that Canik Meat MC9. It's a subcompact, and it's 15 in one. That's probably my favorite handgun right now. As far as rifle, man, I'm going to say mine. I love that. I love my AR-15. That's probably my go-to.
Yeah, my son's got a nice AR that he built. I've never been a well. My problem is I've never been a rifle guy because since birth I'm blind in my right eye and I'm right-handed, so I can't. I've tried shooting left-handed and I just can't. I can't do it, other than like a shotgun, but you can hit anything with a shotgun. So I've never been really a rifle guy, Got you. But Glock, I'm a Glock guy. My go-to is my 34. I like my 34.
Okay. I want you to try the Canik brand, man. Like I want you to try shooting it. Let me know when you're free. If you're down my way, I want to get one of your hands. I think I can convert you over.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I can convert you over, man.
I'm definitely always up for a new, I just love shooting, in general, it's awesome. Yeah. What's the best? Cause I've been, I want to get a couple of concealed carry, some smaller guns for Jessica and I. Yeah. And it's just, it's a nightmare out there. Everybody's making something small, concealed. What's your recommendation for, women generally have purses, so they got, I think, a little bit more options. Guys, we like to carry them on our person. What's your go-to? What's something you'd recommend?
For women, what I sell a lot is going to be that Smith & Wesson shield, 9mm shield. It's called the Shield, Easy Shield. And they're really, really easy to rack, super easy to rack. And a lot of women have fingernails, right? And the hand power too. A lot of women struggle sometimes, depending on the brand, of racking the slide. So I'm going to say that Smith & Wesson Easy Shield. That's going to be a good gun for the women. As far as the guys, I'm going to go back to that Canik, man. That Canik Meat MC9 is going to be a good gun, and they have all types of different versions, even on the full size versions of them are good too. So check out Mechanics, and I think that'll be a gun that you like.
I'll definitely check that out. Now, what about for guys that concealed carry? Like looking at firearms, and then I'm looking at concealed carry holsters, and oh my god, bro, it's never ending. You go down a rabbit hole on YouTube and everything else, and everybody's got the best.
Yeah, well, the good thing about the mechanics, man, you know what? They need to pay me for this, man. I think I need to get on their payroll. I think I've said that too many times, Kevin. You know what I mean? But their guns come with the holsters already in it. That's why I love them. They're great guns. They're fun to shoot. They don't come back for repairs, and the triggers are already pretty much already ready to go out of the box, and it comes with the cleaning kit, and it also comes with the holster. So it's like a one-stop shop, man. So again, I think that's probably one of the best guns on the market right now. Now,
like what does something like that run for people interested?
It just depends, man. You're gonna be looking from anywhere between four and a half, 450 to 650. You know what I mean? Some of their elite versions probably maybe go between 650 and 7. Just depends on what you like, how many bells and whistles that you want to come on it.
Okay. Now, are you by chance a Glock Blue Label dealer?
No, I'm not.
Okay.
And I'm again, I don't like talking negative about any gun brands. I think guns are gonna be best fit for the shooter. You know what I mean? I know some guys that are badass with Tauruses, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what the brand is. If you can shoot, you can shoot. You know what I mean? You just needed to do the job, and you need to be able to fit your hand. And so I don't really get into brands. I just feel like at the end of the day, you just need to know how to shoot the gun.
Okay, and the only reason I asked, I said,
Nope. Looks like we lost Kevin there.
Am I still lit? Am I still lit?
Yeah, you're back.
Yep. Okay, I'll just look at my camera. So I get a discount, each year. I can buy one gun a year, with my the Blue Label. It's usually a couple $100 discount.
Yeah.
So it was but I'll definitely have to look into that one. I'll have to come up now. Do you guys have your own range, like indoor, or like if someone comes up for training up there in Tampa?
No, so I partner with a company called Florida Firearms Florida Firearms Academy here in Tampa. Probably the best range in Tampa as far as I'm concerned. They also have they carry my gear line as well. So the guy that owns that his name is Thomas King. He's a huge 2A supporter. So anything he does is always surrounded around the Second Amendment community. His range is top notch, man. You got to come check it out. He has it's cool. It's kind of like a movie museum and a gun range all in one. He has like all these famous pictures of all these movies that have that have guns in them, and he has all these big paintings and pictures all throughout the whole range. If it's a movie with a gun in it, he has a photo somewhere posted on the range.
Oh, that's awesome! I'm gonna have to get with Jeff. We're me and Jeff's gonna have to come up and see you.
Yeah, you let me know, man. I'll make sure you guys are set up nice.
Perfect. So, I want to talk about firearm safety in the home. We kind of talked about it a little bit. What is because I've looked at various contraptions to hold guns and everything else. What's the best way for a parent that's got younger kids at home, that wants to keep a gun for protection, but keep it away from the kids, but then at the same time have it readily accessible?
Well, I will always lean toward the biometric safes. Those are the ones that you can put on your nightstand, and you can only open with your fingerprints that are registered to that safe. And I tell people to stay away from any type of safe that requires a code, because in that time of distress, you're not going to remember that code. I don't care if it's 1, 2, 3, 4. You're not going to remember that code. So it's something as simple as putting your hand on top of that box. It pops up, and then that gun is already ready to go. So I'm going to lean towards the biometric safes.
Okay, I didn't know that they had, because I've always seen the ones where you put your hand into, but then you have the code that you got to, and I always thought the same thing. push comes to shove, am I going to remember that damn code?
No.
You know,
we don't do codes, bro. We're making it dummy proof as we can. You know what I mean? Put your hand on that bad boy, and it pops up. You grab that gun, and as far as I'm concerned, it should already be ready to go. You know what I mean? The less steps you got to take to be ready, the better.
Yeah, that's it. You know, I've practiced with mine. I keep my I keep my magazine out. You know, but I have, you know, within a second of picking. I mean, I can put that magazine in and rack that slide almost instantaneously. So, and that's one thing I try and tell other people: you got to practice. You got to practice. You know, in case of that situation.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then teaching your kids. You know, teaching your kids about gun safety. You know, people just assume, you know, kids aren't going to touch a gun, but kids are inquisitive.
Yeah, man. You got to teach them while they're young. You know what I mean? Teach them how to respect it while they're young. When they get older, you know, they're not as curious about it. They know, you know, they know how to safely carry them and fire them. So Florida Firearms is really good about that too. They have a class once a month for the kids, and that class is always packed out, man. It's always booked. So yeah, man, if you're a parent and you're listening, make sure you get your kids, start them off early.
I told you, Tim, we used to go upstate. That was our vacation. We go upstate. My brother was a big hunter. You know, he was heavily into guns, and that was his thing. My grandfather, my uncle, but we used to go upstate every year, and every year we'd sit in the back on the picnic table, and that's what we did. We stayed there for 2 weeks. We'd shoot everything from shotguns to 357, 44, 22, you name it. You know, the guns came out, and all the kids at an early age, you learned about it. You learned to respect the weapon. You learned how to fire it. You could see the damage that it could do, and you also made sure that you took the necessary steps and procedures of safety. You know, when you were going, you know, downrange to, you know, pick the cans back up, put them back up, and everything else. And I think too many people are afraid of the gun, when in reality the issue is it's the operator and the people that are actually you know, who are the gun enthusiasts. They're the ones who should be passing along this knowledge.
Yeah, you know, and that's a big one you mentioned. You know, teaching kids what a gun can do. You know, you hear like some kids don't realize.
All those fucking video games, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, they don't realize what, you know, how much damage to an object like a pumpkin or a watermelon that a gun can do, and you know, they see that for the first time, and it's like, wow, like sobering. This is, you know, it's definitely a very sobering, you know, experience.
Right. It's not Call of Duty. It's not Call of Duty. There is no reset button.
No, there isn't, and I don't think they get that. You know, I don't say all of them, but I don't think a lot of kids get that. Plus, they don't understand, you know, the kick that's involved with a gun. You know, the impact of just breathing, and it's there's a lot that you can learn. I think you learn at an early age to respect when you're around family members or friends that have firearms.
Yeah, you know, I don't think kids are subjected to it like we all were as kids. I mean, all three of us. I mean, that was just something we were around. We were always around guns. You know, we just knew what they did, and we just respected them. I love that there's because as far as I know, nowhere around me has, you know, like training for kids. Like you can bring kids in. I think that's, a brilliant thing. You know, to where you can bring kids. I mean, you know, you go to the Home Depot on the weekend and they're building their little birdhouses or whatever it is they're doing out front, you know, sawing and cutting and nailing, you know, but I love that. You know, I love that. I'm going to write that down. What is the name of that? I'm going to put a link. I'll come back and edit this. What's the name of that place?
It's called Florida Firearms Academy.
Okay. I'm definitely going to put a link to that afterwards, so people, you know, people that live down here anyways, you know, if you live outside of, you know, Florida or wherever, you know, definitely, you know, have to look into your local range and see if that's something that they offer. The other thing I see on your website, which I didn't delve too much into, but I kind of like what I saw. It was called U.S. Law Shield. What is that?
Good question, man. So Just like you have car insurance, there's gun insurance, right? What happens after you fire that shot, man? Like, what's the next step? You know, so a lot of times what happens is you find yourself in a courtroom. Who has to pay for that? Like, you'll have to pay for that. So what this company, U.S. Law Shield, does, they will cover your attorney fees. So it's kind of a no-brainer, and it's very affordable. I think I pay like $125 for the year, and you know, get into a shooting situation, they give you a card. You call that card, and they tell you what not to say, and then they assign you an attorney, and then your attorney handles it from there.
Oh, that's awesome. You know, yeah, I saw. I think on the website it was like $10 a month. You know,
Right.
and actually I bookmarked it because I'm going to sign up for it because I said it's just, you know, for the $10, you know, $11, whatever it is a month. You know,
Yeah.
if you think about what an attorney costs, you know, like I said, you know, so I mean, we all have businesses here, so we all have attorneys, and it's outrageous, you know, what an attorney. I mean, you call up an attorney and ask for advice. I call my attorney up and ask for advice. It's a couple $100
Yeah.
just
Right.
for, and that's one time. If I got to call him 2 or 3 times a year, you know, I'm easily spending $1,000 a year, you know, just on advice. So, you know, like you said, $120 a year, you know, just, you know,
desist letter, right? That's
you know, oh yeah, that's it. You know, it's
That's a no-brainer, man.
now is that something that anybody listening to all over the country, you know, tonight, you know, they can, you know, they don't have to be a Florida resident. They can get in on that.
Yeah, that's nationwide, man. You know, and they also cover you if you're traveling as well. So it's just not specific to your state. They also have coverage when you're traveling with your firearm from state to state, and it's just not firearm related as well. It's also self-defense. What if you get into a bar fight or something? It's the same concept. They still cover you in case you were to need a attorney.
Okay,
Wow.
you know, which is another reason that, you know, people should have their concealed weapons permit. It covers you more than a gun. You know, it just to have that concealed weapons permit. You know, if you hit somebody with a brick, you know, a stick,
I never
mace,
knew that.
you know, yeah, it's especially here in Florida. Florida's a very gun friendly state. You know, if you have your concealed weapons permit, you know, you're definitely with the castle doctrine. You know, we're definitely a lot more protected. But yeah, I would definitely look into, you know, getting that, you know, for $10-11 a month. It really is a no brainer. I've got friends that are cops. They have advised me what to say, what not to say. Basically, don't say anything. Do not say, you know, and you know, and they joke around, you know, with me. It's like when we get to your house or the scene, they go, "We only want one story," you know, like that, you know, not saying that dead men tell no tales, but we don't want 2 conflicting stories. We just want to hear the one story. So,
and that's one of the perks of having the gun insurance, because that's the first thing you do. You make that phone call, and then they take care of everything else.
yeah, definitely. Like I said, no brainer. So definitely, everybody look that up. You know, U.S. Law Shield. You can go to, you know, Brian's website. You know, it's been scrolling, you know, across the bottom of the screen on occasion. It's in the show notes down below. If you're listening to the podcast, it's in the clickable link is in the podcast description. You know, it's right there on his website. You know, nice and bold, so you can click on it.
Yeah, and I'll also give you that, Kevin. I can shoot you that link to it, so in case you want to put it on there, so the customers can just go straight to it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Perfect.
Yeah.
So, you know, obviously, we live in a society now that a lot of irresponsible people, you know, are able to get guns, and you know, we're not going to get into you know, the politics side of it, but there's been a lot of talk over the years about, you know, different things making guns harder to get. You know, getting rid of, like here in Florida, the gun show loophole. You know, broader background checks, 30-day waiting periods, 60-day waiting periods. You know, from someone that you know, that is your full-time job of being in guns, you know, is there any of these rules and regulations that you're for, you know, to help I don't know. I don't want to say help society. I don't know. Appease the
Are they
the
beneficial?
yeah. Yeah.
Honestly, man, I think the rules that are in place right now protect the everyday citizen. I don't really see the need for more rules, because at the end of the day, again, um, it's just making it more. It makes it more difficult for the people that are doing things the right way. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, so I think right now, I think the government has enough rules in the place as far as in regards to what's out there right now. I don't see the need for more for more you know more laws to restrict people to be able to buy firearms.
I agree. You know, it's I tell people, you know, in the tobacco industry, I've said it for years, you know, from being in the gun industry, you know, or the gun, you know, whatever. We've seen what happens when the ATF and the government steps in and they take one thing. You know, as soon as you open the door, you know that door can never be closed again. You
Right,
know, I mean, we've seen that with guns for years. It's just everything, you know, that they've taken once that door is open, and so many people in the cigar industry don't understand that. You know, they're like, oh, you know, they can have this, they can have that. You know, let
Mhm.
them. You know, they let them have the menthol cigarettes and the flavored cigars. That's the big one now. Menthol
right,
cigarettes and flavored cigars. You're like, let them have that. And I'm like, no, because you haven't seen what the gun industry has gone through. As soon as the government takes menthol, as soon as they take flavored cigars and they got that
Yep.
door open, that's it. You
So
know,
well, they're like water, and they always find a way.
that's
right,
it. They're going to take the next thing. They're going to take the next thing, and next thing you know, we won't have cigars. You know,
right.
same thing with the guns. You know, I'm the same with you. You know, Pro 2A. You know, I think the laws that we have on books, I think they do a good job. You know, for the, you know, I don't know. We won't get into the politics of it because I'll get
Yeah,
banned. You know,
right, right, right,
I know there's one sponsor of mine that will not, you know, that will not waver. You know,
right.
but I don't want to say the others will, but I don't want to go into
Yeah,
that.
yeah. Kev, let's stay off that cancel list, man.
Yeah. It is cancel culture right now, baby. You
Yeah,
know, people that don't smoke cigars will inundate my advertisers. You know, that's just the way
Yep.
they do. You know, so I think it's about all we got. You know, it's been a great show. Care any final thoughts, questions
No, man.
that you
I
want to go
mean,
through for tonight?
no, I'm not. Like I said, I'm not heavily into firearms like you guys, but I do support and believe in the Second Amendment, and I've been around in my whole life, and it was great having you on the show, learning about your cigar business, but also your history, your background, and you know, Kevin's probably going to be calling you because I was going to ask you when you provide security, does it matter if they're important or if they think they're important if they want to hire you?
it does not matter, man. It
All
doesn't.
right.
It doesn't matter if they're important. If it's the average, just a, everyday American man. If you want security, we're here to do that. We're here to provide
Kevin
that.
just wants someone to walk with him through the house and just every time Jessica approaches him, just pushes her away. Not right now. Not right now. Well, you're getting too far. Get
Hey,
some
whatever we
space.
got to do to keep Kev out of jail, man.
Yeah, that's it. So,
That's awesome. No, man. Thanks for
uh,
being on. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, man.
Bri-
I appreciate you guys having me on, man. I enjoyed you guys.
oh yeah, we've had a blast for sure. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we'll definitely. I'm definitely gonna get with Jeff. We're gonna come up. We're gonna come up and see you. I'll get with Jeff, and next time I see him, and we'll plan a day, and we'll come up and hang out with you, and we'll see what kind of shooter Jeff is, and maybe you can
Yeah.
help me with my up left thing that I'm dealing with.
I would love to, man. I would love to, and I definitely want to see what Jeff has, man. All them guns, but I want to see if he can shoot them.
Oh yeah, I just want to see his collection. See what he's got. You know he's got to have some cool stuff.
Yeah, he does. I know he does.
So cool. All right, Brian. Thanks for coming on and spending an hour and a half of your Monday night with us, man. We appreciate it.
Hey, man. Thank you, guys, man. I appreciate you.
Very
All right, tell everybody at Corona I said hi.
I sure will, man. You guys have a good night.
All right, see ya.
All right, later.
All right, let's hear. Everybody start typing in the word cigar for our giveaway tonight, and then let's hear a word from our sponsor, Corona Cigar. All right.
Magazines, not clips.
Magazines, not clips. And then they're and remember, let me pull up here the giveaway. And there's a difference between a round and a bullet. A round is the entire cartridge that contains the bullet, and the bullet is actually just the lead thing that comes out of the round.
Right.
So, all right. Let me share my.
How would you marble in the word projectile?
Well, projectile would be the same as bullets. So
the round is what goes into the magazine that goes into the firearm, and the bullet or projectile is what leaves the barrel.
That's it. You know, and then when you take the class, you know, you learn the things that you do. You know, I think there's 4 steps. Like, you know, always keep your finger on the trigger guard until you're ready to shoot. You know your target and what lies beyond. That's a big thing. People don't realize how fast a bullet travels, and it goes through things.
Yes, like know your target, like you got to personally know them.
Yes. All right.
I already got my target lined up.
All right. So can you see that, Care?
I can.
All right.
Let her rip.
All right. We're gonna we're coming. We got some prizes. So we're gonna make sure that the person because we've had 2 times in the last month. Bree Thomas. Now Bree, I know. Let's see. I think she just comment. Bree, are you still on? Okay, yeah, Bree. So she's 905. So all right. So we've had a couple of people that didn't claim their prize this year. You know, over the last 2 months. So yeah, we've had 2 people. So I see Bree is typed. So Bree, send me a message, Kevin@cigarprop.com, and I will get you your prize pack out.
I claim the unclaimed or no?
No.
All right.
So I think we do. Actually, it's been a good thing because now we have just enough to give away for the rest of the year. Hello, see, she chimed in. All right. So Kevin@cigarprop.com, Bree will get you your prize pack out to you. Yeah, that was the Tapping Action Taking Names giveaway presented by Amendola Family Cigars. Hopefully next week. Actually, I got a new camera coming. It'll be here tomorrow. I got a new capture card coming, so hopefully this does not have. This hasn't been a thing in this is the first time this season that I've had an issue. With
you had to go all rogue because I think
I know. I think it's my A10 Mini, my switcher. I think that's the issue, so I'm getting rid of that. So we're going to a new.
The last time you had to do this, you were in the little storage room. Behind you.
I know, and I could have done that tonight. You know, if I had my green screen up, I could have done something cool. You know, but I didn't. So, all right, next week on the show, we welcome the guys from the Cigar Guys podcast. 3 gentlemen. Actually, I've known them for a little bit now. I actually just met them at Corona Cigar Sarasota about a month ago. I've been on their podcast twice, so I owe them. You know, so now they're going to be on our show. So it's going to be super cool to kind of get, you know, the ins and outs of another, you know, cigar, you know, media show. So it should be pretty cool. And and then we've only got one more show after that. So I I know it's already. I mean, it's. I said, yeah, we usually go 2 to 3 weeks, and then I'm going to be doing a live show, like the third week of December. It's for Cigar Medics. Definitely, Cigar Medics is in the video description down below, the podcast description. If you're listening, and actually, by the time the podcast comes out of this show, the contest will be over. Cigar Medics is giving away 5 of their new cutters.
I did see that.
So super awesome. So if you go to the Cigar Medics website, for every $20 you spend on their website, you get 1 entry into the contest. We're going to be doing the live show for them, announcing the winners. Be like the third week of December. It'll be like on a Friday or Saturday or something. So it should be pretty fun. Kara, I forgot to mention that to you. I'd love to have you come on and help me with that show. Hopefully we can get Steve Saka to come on and Luigi from Cigar Medics to talk about how this cutter came about, because it is a fantastic cutter.
I heard you talking about it, and it's. I mean, you've been raving about it.
It is crazy cool. So, all right. Make sure you're following Cigar Prop producer Jessica, even though she's not with us tonight. Cara Viajante of Stogie Road Cigars, our guest, Brian with Tactical Society and Guns and Gars. All the links are in the video description down below, or the podcast description if you're listening to this in the future. And once again, we want to thank J.C. Newman Cigars, Cigar Medics, Amendola Cigars, We Are the Muscle, Casa Caraballo Cigars, Illusione Cigars, deep in flavor, deep in your mind, K by Karen Berger Cigars, Corona Cigar, and of course, Drew Estate and Experience Acid Care. Leave us with some final thoughts for the night.
Oh man, there's so many from this evening. I mean, guns and cigars, guard cigars. But as always, we just got through one holiday. We're getting ready to celebrate another. Time is precious. It's the one thing you cannot get back. So we get an opportunity to sit down with a friend and enjoy a cigar. Do so, and make sure you stop by one of your local cigar shops.
All right. We'll see everybody next week.